Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News. The country is in limbo, and now more than ever, with the local government election nearing, you must stay informed. That is why we report and you decide. Now your headlines.
Government to slash 5% of funds allocated to ministries from the budget. Bank employees take to the streets against the new tax policy. Pensioners forced to wait in line as pension deposits were delayed. Political parties and groups place bonds for local government election. TNA to discuss devolution of power with President. Brazilian authorities detained about 1,500 supporters of former President Bolsonaro who participated in riots.
Now to your news in detail. The Ceylon Bank Employees Union organized an island-wide signature collection program for a petition against the unfair tax policy.
Through this petition, the bank employees point out that the current government's new income tax policy will adversely affect middle-income earners in the country. Officials of the Bank of Ceylon head office in Colombo joined the program to sign the petition this morning. Employees of the People's Bank Colombo branch also signed the petition. Meanwhile, the employees of the National Savings Bank also signed the petition at the Kolpeti main branch. The petition was also signed by the employees of the State Mortgage and Investment Bank in the Colombo branch. The Ceylon Bank Employees Union gathered opposite the Northwestern Provincial Office in Kurunagala this morning to sign the petition against the government's new tax policy.
බදු අය කළ යුතුයි. රටේ මහ ජනතාවගෙන් රට රකින්න නම් බදු අය විය යුතුමයි. නමුත්
Yes, taxes need to be in place, but we oppose unfair taxation. In these difficult times, people are struggling, and enforcing taxes onto people in this situation would only lead to the further downfall of professionals. They are trying to take as much as possible from us. If this continues, these people will have no way to live.
Moving on to a headline-making story, pensioners allege that they were unable to obtain their pension until this morning.
Retirement pensions are usually collected on the 10th of every month, but many of those who came to collect retirement pensions had to wait in line at banks.
I came here because I need to purchase medicine. The medicines cost a lot of money because I was diagnosed with cancer. I do not get the proper pension amount. I receive a lower sum of money.
The funds have not been deposited into the account. I need to purchase medicine and settle debt. We do not have other means of income.
Cabinet spokesperson Minister Bandula Gunawardena told reporters that the President had informed the Cabinet that the Treasury is facing a serious financial crisis.
ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා විසින් කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට දැනුම් දුන්නා මේ ලැබුවා වූ 2023 වර්ෂයේදී අපි අපේක්ෂා කළ ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා දරුණු මූල්‍ය අර්බුදයකට භාණ්ඩාගාරය මුහුණ දීලා සිටින බව. ඒට ප්‍රධාන හේතුව තමයි ආර්ථිකයේ විශාල වශයෙන් 2022 වර්ෂයේදී සංකෝචනය වීම.
The President informed the Cabinet that the Treasury will face a more serious financial crisis than what was anticipated in 2023. The main reason for this was that the economy shrank in 2022. The tax revenue dropped at the beginning of this year. Therefore, the tax revenue from January to March will drop. However, mandatory expenses will have to be borne, such as salaries, pensions, debt settlement and other daily expenses. However, the Treasury does not have the necessary funds. There is no stable income to even support the essential welfare expenses. Therefore, the Cabinet was informed that all ministry allocations from the budget will be cut down by 5% due to the issues in paying the salaries for January. The Samurdhi allowance provision will likely be delayed by a week or two.
ඊළඟට මේ ජනවාරි මාසයේදී වැටුප් ගෙවීම පිළිබඳ පවතින දුෂ්කරතාවය නිසා සමෘද්ධි සහන ආධාර ගෙවීම සතියකට දෙකකට එටි පමාවක් සිද්ධ වෙන්න ඉඩ තිබෙන බව.
Will the electricity prices increase or not? Now, Sri Lanka's Cabinet of Ministers is considering introducing a price formula similar to the fuel price formula to revise the electricity tariff.
2023 විදුලි ගාස්තු සංශෝධනය පිළිබඳ යෝජනාව ඉදිරිපත් කරමින් ගරු විදුලි බල බලශක්ති අමාත්‍ය කාංචන විජේසේකර මැතිතුමා කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට ඉතාම දීර්ඝ ලෙස කරුණු පැහැදිලි කරා. මොනම ආකාරයෙන්වත් මේ අවශ්‍ය ගාස්තු සංශෝධනය සිද්ධ කරන්නේ නැතුව මෙතනින් එහාට අඩියක්වත් ගමන් කළ නොහැකි බව සියලුම ඒ අමාත්‍යාංශයේ උසස්
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara presented the proposal to amend the electricity tariff for the year 2023. The minister made a lengthy presentation to the cabinet. He said that senior ministry officials, experts, engineers and others had explained to him that it is not possible to move forward without a tariff revision. The president and the cabinet approved the implementation of electricity tariff revision effective from the 1st of January 2023. However, if the PUCSL has a more relief-based recommendation, that it will be considered. The tariff hike is in effect from the 1st of January 2023, and if the PUCSL can make recommendations for relief, they have been given time to make those submissions until the 15th of February. If amendments are presented to the PUCSL, those recommendations will be taken into account by the CEB and the revisions will be made accordingly. The Energy Minister was informed to introduce a price formula similar to the fuel price formula that would benefit the consumers based on multiple factors.
වියදම් අඩු වුණොත් ඒ අඩුවීමේ වාසිය පාරිභෝගිකයන් ලබා දෙන්න බලශක්ති ඇමතුමාට කිව්වා මිල සූත්‍රයක් සෑම මාස 6කටම බරක් අනිජ තෙල් වලට වගේ විදුලි බලයටත් මිල සූත්‍රයක් හඳුන්වා දෙන ලෙසත් උපදෙස්.
The CEB Engineers Union convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
ගල්ලංගුරු වල තත්ත්වය අපි හොයලා බැලුවා. ඊයේ වෙනකොට 6 වෙනි නැව බාලා ඉවරයි. 5 වෙනි නැව දක්වා ගෙනාපු ගල්ලංගුරු ප්‍රමාණය.
We inquired into the latest situation with regard to coal. As of yesterday, the 6th shipment was also unloaded. The stock of coal that was brought down up until the 5th shipment has already been utilized. All we have left are 60,000 metric tons of coal. The 7th shipment has reached the country. However, when checked yesterday, the payments for it had not been made. We need 7,500 units daily to run all 3 generators. According to that, we have to see for how many days the 60,000 metric tons of coal would last. However, there will be no issue if the payments are made today or tomorrow and the cargo is released. The more the payments are delayed, the more the demurrage becomes. We will have to include such expenses in our billing system. The Treasury will not bear these expenses. Neither will the Lanka Coal Company nor those who are in power. In the end, expenses like this will be borne by the electricity consumers. The time period to import coal will end on the 15th of April. We should have thought of alternatives by now. Why are profitable alternatives not being used? Giving small quantities of naphtha and keeping the rest under the CPC will not do. They need to continuously import crude oil and purify it. They have officers and they are being paid salaries. They have a plant which we have invested in. Who gives permission for these to close it down? I believe that the society should raise questions about this.
ප්ලාන්ට් එකක් එතන තියෙන්නේ. ඒක තියාගෙන ඒක වහලා තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ කවුද අනුමත කරන්නේ? මං හිතන්නේ සමාජයේ ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න ඕනේ ඒක.
Thousands of Sri Lankan farmers were left helpless due to certain decisions taken by the country's administration. Now, farmers allege that the fertilizer that they were compelled to purchase at exorbitant prices are of a low standard.
The farmers from Akbopura in Kantale cultivate over 2,200 hectares of paddy land for the Maha season. However, the paddy leaves falling prey to a certain disease has led to a serious issue.
මේ තියෙන්නේ මේසේ අලුතින් අපිට දුන්න පොහොර වලින් ගහපු ගොවිතැන් කරපු කුඹුර. මේ තියෙන්නේ ගිය යලේ.
This is the fertilizer given recently and this is the fertilizer given during the previous season. Take a look at the difference. Their fertilizer is of low standard. Proper tests should have been conducted. It is the farmer who is now left helpless.
මේ කඳන් මේවා පූදිනවද කවදාවත් මේවා කරල්ලිනවද? මේ ගොයන් ගහයි වෙනස බලන්නකෝ. මේ පරණ පොහොර ගහලා හැදුවේ. ඒකයි අපි මේ කියන්නේ මේ පොහොර වල දුර්වලතාවයක් මේ තියෙන්නේ කියලා මේවා පරීක්ෂණ පවත්වන්න නැතුව මේ අහිංසක ගොවියෝ අමාරුවේ දාන්න මේ දීලා.
Local farmers say that around 75% of their paddy lands have been affected by this disease.
The Minister of Agriculture has given instructions to the relevant officials to take immediate measures to control the fungi disease related to paddy cultivations. The ministry stated that the government is ready to provide the necessary financial assistance for the control of disease. The ministry stated that the spread of disease, including yellow spot disease, insect infestation and roundworm disease, were observed across multiple paddy cultivations in 4 districts. Agriculture Secretary Gunadasa Samarasinghe said that a team of special officers from the Ministry of Agriculture were dispatched to the relevant districts to look into the matter. The Secretary said that the teams will inform the farmers about the measures that need to be taken for disease control and the recommended insecticides as well. In the meantime, the Minister had given instructions to immediately convene all parties to discuss the future measures that need to be taken regarding the control of these diseases.
Moving on to other stories in detail, the Tamil National Alliance will meet the President on Tuesday evening to reach a solution to the national issue. Now, this meeting will take place at the President's office.
Leaders of the Ilankai Tamil Arasu Kachi, Elam People's Revolutionary Liberation Front and the People's Liberation Organization of Tamil Elam that form the Tamil National Alliance will take part in this meeting. The President, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Justice Minister Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa and Minister Douglas Devanandan from the Elam People's Democratic Party will attend the meeting representing the government. People's Liberation Organization of Tamil Elam leader Dharmalingan Siddharthan told Newsfirst that multiple topics including the releasing of lands in the north, releasing Tamil prisoners and the 13th Amendment to the Constitution will be discussed at this meeting. President Ranil Wickremesinghe recently emphasized that all political parties should come to a common agreement to provide a solution to the national issue ahead of the upcoming 75th Independence Day celebrations. Following that, the President held an all-party summit as well as several rounds of talks with the Tamil National Alliance. Speaking to the media after meeting the President last week, the spokesperson of the Tamil National Alliance, President's Council M.A. Sumandaran, stated that if no progress can be made regarding the requests of the Tamil people at today's meeting, a decision will have to be made regarding whether or not to participate in these discussions in the future.
Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna placed bonds to contest the local government election from the Anuradhapura district.
SLPP General Secretary Attorney Sagara Karyavasam presided over the event to place bonds for the SLPP to contest the local government elections from the Anuradhapura district.
The SLPP is successfully making the necessary preparations to face this election. The people are also with us. The people are aware where the leaders who saved this country, protected this country and developed this country are. The people are with the party because the SLPP can take this country forward and our journey forward will be successful.
ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් පක්ෂය හැටියට ජනතාව අපේ පක්ෂය සමග ඉතා තදින් බැඳිලා ඉන්නවා. ඒ නිසා අපි ඉතාම සාර්ථක ගමනක් යනවා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී.
Giving is always the way forward for humanity. Another leg of the Sirasa Shakti Potyatra book donation campaign took place at the Sri Sudarshana Primary School in Hadigama, Piliyandala on Tuesday.
The Sirasa Shakti Potyatra book donation campaign was launched with the objective of highlighting the true sense of Christmas with the blessings of His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, Right Reverend Dushanta Rodrigo, the Bishop of the Church of Ceylon and other religious leaders. From Christmas Day, the book donation campaign has been reaching out to school students across many parts of the country and distributed these items to them. Today's program was held at the Sri Sudarshana Primary School in Hadigama, Piliyandala. Group CEO of the Capital Maharaja Group, Sunil Kanodia, Executive Group Director Shevan Daniel, among others, were present for this event.
Capital Maharaja Group is, as you know, is a very diversified group and has always remained in touch with the people. That even our news, we have steadfast remained with the people, taking the problems of the people, talking about the people. Country is definitely going through some difficulty. We cannot be spending our money and resources in celebrations, but more importantly, dedicating ourselves to building the future. And that future is you, is your life. If your future is good, the country will be strong. And we strongly believe in this. And therefore, we are here with a small gesture which may ease out the life of the parents, but we will continue to make our efforts in terms of doing such efforts.
Sirasa Shakti Potyatra වැඩසටහන අද අපේ පාසලට ඇවිත් තියෙනවා අපේ දරුවන්ට පොත් ලබා දෙන්න. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම මම හිතන්නේ මේක මගේ පාසලේ දරුවන් මෙන්ම
The Sirasa Shakti Pot Yatra book donation campaign has reached our school. This is something appreciated by the school and the parents. Today, this program has brought a smile on the faces of the children and relief to the parents. Purchasing books was a serious concern for parents.
පොත් ටික ලබා ගන්න කියලා. එවන් අවස්ථාවක මෙවන් වැඩසටහනක් සඳහා අප පාසලට පැමිණීමම මං හිතන්නේ මේ දෙමව්පියන්ගේ ඉතාම භාග්‍යයක්.
The Director of Education of the Piliyandala Educational Zone also participated in the event.
If we consider the economic situation we are in, the very fact that your institutions paid attention to this school is a noteworthy cause.
අවධානය යොමු වීම මම ඊටාම අගය කරනවා.
Coming into news overseas, about 1,500 people have been held in Brazil after supporters of ex-President Jair Bolsonaro stormed Congress, the presidential palace and the Supreme Court in the capital of Brazil.
The rioting came a week after President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva was sworn in. He condemned the terrorist acts and vowed to punish the perpetrators. Bolsonaro has not admitted defeat in October's tight election that divided the nation and flew to the US before the handover on the 1st of January. On Monday, he was admitted to hospital in Florida with abdominal pain. Tens of thousands of people are now demonstrating in Brazil's largest city, Sao Paulo, in support of democratic values. Brazilian police found 5 hand grenades on the premises of the Supreme Court and Congress after the Sunday attacks on government buildings in Brasilia. Brazilian Senator Randolph Rodrigues told CNN Brazil on Monday. Senator Randolph Rodrigues told CNN Brazil on Monday that the police found 5 hand grenades on the premises of the Supreme Court and Congress after the Sunday attacks on government buildings in Brasilia. Rodrigues, who would be leading President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's government in Congress, said 3 of the grenades were found in the Supreme Court and 2 in Congress. In a tweet that he later deleted, the senator described the individuals behind the attacks as terrorists who wanted to destroy the Supreme Court, the presidential palace and Congress.
And to more news overseas, United States President Joe Biden has arrived in Mexico ahead of bilateral meetings with the Mexican president and Canadian Prime Minister, as well as a joint gathering of the 3 North American leaders dubbed the Three Amigos Summit.
Biden will meet Andrés Manuel López Obrador and Justin Trudeau on issues of migration, illegal drugs, climate change, manufacturing and trade, set to dominate the 2 days of meetings between the longtime allies who have weathered some chafing in relations in recent years. Meanwhile, rights group Amnesty International called on the leaders to make the rights of refugees and migrants a top priority. In a tweet upon landing in Mexico, Biden said the gathering will deepen our coordination and advance our shared priorities in North America. U.S. priorities include addressing the politically fraught issue of the rising number of U.S.-Mexico border crossings by undocumented migrants and asylum seekers, as well as an increase in cross-border fentanyl smuggling that has fueled a deadly addiction epidemic in the U.S. On Sunday, Biden made his first visit to the southern border as president. Mexico, meanwhile, is expected to focus on economic integration for North America and programs to address regional poverty and the root causes of migration, while Canada is expected to seek to expand on green initiatives. On Monday, Amnesty International called on the North American leaders to prioritize the rights of those fleeing violence and persecution during the summit.
Now on to your sports stories. Sri Lanka will take on India in the first of the 3-match ODI series in Guwahati. Please stay tuned to our social media pages for updated news all the time. Bringing you the news from the news desk, I am Sandro Satyajit signing off. Take care.